Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is July the 10th, 2022, and I am going to be looking at 5 stocks that I'm going to be trading going into next week. Names like Rivian that had a 24% gain last week alone. Moderna up 50% in a 3-week span. I am going to discuss that along with Twitter and Elon Musk calling off the sale of the social media platform, along with Tesla having a big week, rallying higher. Also, Elon Musk confirming that he is no longer interested in Twitter at the moment. And Google set to have a 4-to-1 stock split coming up this Friday. With that being said, guys, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I know a lot of guys that watch this video that haven't subscribed, so click that subscribe button as we do release videos every single week, along with our 2-month $97 promo that we do have on Discord. We do trade options along with daily watch list names that are updated, along with day trading names, along with swing trading names, analyst upgrades, market analysis, and getting you prepped pretty much every single day before the market opens. So if you are interested in that, click the link in the bio and that should get you going. As I said, I do have 5 names that I'm going to be discussing, but before we get started, guys, I do like to look at the market, the S&P 500, and where we are in the overall scheme of things, right? So as you guys know, last week I talked about that $3,800 line, and we did have a good week still staying above that line. And to me, that is big news, because as long as we stay above 3,800, it speaks that to me that at 3,650 was that bottom, and staying above 3,800 confirms to me that we are not going to head below 3,650. As you guys know, I did have 2 bottom targets. One was 3,650 along with 3,400. And at the moment, as long as we close and stay above 3,800 and consolidate between that area of 4,000 and 3,800, we are in good shape. However, I do like to see a break. As you guys can see here, we did have a rejection at that 3,930 area. And going into next week, this week ahead, I am looking at that area once again, right? So I need a break above that for a potential push all the way to 3,985, where we do have a gap between 3,985 and that 4,000 line. So that is my first target going into this week, right? So I want that gap filled at $4,000, and I want the market to hold above that area. And if we do hold above that area, the next major line of resistance for me, as you guys can see here on the daily time frame, we do have multiple rejections at 41.65. So to me, that is my next line that I need to see the market hit and close above. So if we do get a close on the weekly candle above 4,000, I am bullish in the short term. Even better if we get a close above 41.65. Now, if I was to switch over here to the weekly time frame, you guys can clearly see that we are consolidating on the weekly time frame around that 39.85 down to that 37.25 area for your key support. Now, as I mentioned, 36.50 is an area where we bounce. So as long as we stay above 3,800, we are in good shape, right? But overall, in the grand scheme of things, in the long term, we are still in a downtrend, guys. So pretty much as long as we're consolidating between 39.30 and 37.25, we can chop around this area for quite a while, either popping up to the top, right, or confirming the downtrend to the bottom. At the moment, we are in good shape as long as we close above 3,800, as I mentioned. So first things first, let's get that gap filled at $4,000. And the next area of resistance is that 41.65, which is an area where it can definitely change the trend of the market, and it could lead to people having more confidence in the market, pretty much rallying into the later months in the year. All right. So that's the S&P 500. We are in good shape so far. So for the first name that I want to discuss that's on my list, and guys, all these 5 names that I'm going to be discussing are traded at Wealthy Mentor Trading on our Discord channel. So that $97 promo 2-month definitely will get you my targets every single day and my views on the market. So definitely check that out if you are interested in trading with us. Okay, the first name, Google, Googl. So Google to me is important is because we do have that 4-to-1 stock split, and it did rally pretty much over 10% from the drop here at that $2,114 line. As you guys can see, it has held multiple weeks right here, right? We are on the weekly time frame. We're talking about April all the way to July, right? So we did close Friday's session at the highs just below that 2386 line. So what am I looking at going into tomorrow? Again, guys, if you want to count round numbers, I am looking for a break above 2400 or potential take profit targets at 2433 and 2458. As you guys can see by these two long wicks right here representing buyer rejection, right? So a break above these two lines can potentially push us higher all the way to 2500. But for me, I am definitely looking at that 2400 psychological resistance line for take profits of 2433 and 2458. So if we do get those two targets hit, I am going to be looking at that $2,500 line, right? So as you guys can see, it is strong resistance. It was clear support right here. And on the way up is going to be tough resistance to break, right? So previous support now turns to resistance to the upside. And so, guys, make sure that you pay attention to Google. As I mentioned, the 4-to-1 stock split can be a bullish sign, right? It could lead to a rally into that $2,500 line, or early on we can get that rejection at 2400 and trend back down. And if we do, I am looking at targets down to 2327, 2250, and again 2178. So we can potentially slush down around this area for quite a while, and that would lead into that 4-to-1 stock split. Much like Amazon, if you guys look at Amazon, it didn't do much post stock split, right? Names are not popping off like they used to be. Shopify is another one. They did have the stock split, and if you look at prior years, you guys do know that stock splits led to a rally higher. But unfortunately, at this time, the momentum, the overall outlook of the markets isn't allowing that at the moment. So I am looking at Google to have a week where it does have a stock split and not much can come of it. So it all leads me to a possible rejection at that $2,400 line and pretty much slushing around this area for quite a while until we see the S&P 500 break those levels of 4,000 and 4165, where I can definitely see Google hit that $2,500 line and ahead. As you guys know, these targets will get changed up in a bit because we do have that 4-to-1 split. So essentially, if you have a $2,500 stock, you are splitting it into 4 pieces. All right. So that is Google and my views. Watch over $2,400, and to the support line, watch that 2327 area if you are a short, right? If you are shorting, watch that line to potentially head down to this 2114 and 2178 line for potential short targets. All right. Next name that is important, Tesla, TSLA. And, you know, Tesla is, again, one of those names, much like Google, that has been sandwiched into this consolidation area between 750 and 650, right? So it's pretty much a large area, a big $100 chunk. And we did have a nice bullish week last week, right? We did close at the very top at 750, just above it right here. So what am I looking at next week? To me, to feel comfortable about an entry on Tesla, I want to see a break above 780, right? We did have a rejection here back on May the 30th, and since then we haven't really tested this line. So to me, I want to see a break above 780, right, and a close above 780 for me to feel comfortable for an entry for a push all the way to 800 bucks, right? That would be my first take profit area. Now, if we get above $800, we could definitely see ourselves shooting up all the way to 850, which is this middle ground right here, right? Left back on October 2021, and it is the rejection point right here on this big candle here on May 2022. So 2 targets that I have in mind: a break above 780, you're looking at 800, and your second target for take profits is a run up to $850. Now, if we do have a great bullish week past that line, look at that 880 line, which we did receive a nice rejection here on the weekly time frame. So I am bullish on Tesla as long as we can get a close. I need a daily close at the very minimum above 780. Now, let's just say we finish the week and we close above 80 on the weekly candle, even better, guys. That could definitely lead us to push all the way to that 880, 910, 950 if we can get a weekly close above this area right here, that 780 line. But for now, I am just looking for a daily close above 780 to gauge my interest in entering for a push to 800 and 850. Okay, now to the downside, what am I looking at? 700 is that key line of support for me. And to me, if we get to that line, I am looking to open up shorts, right? So I'm looking up to open up shorts, much like Google. It is that middle ground. And it is an area where if we do break it, we are testing the bottom of this channel at 650 and 620. Now, Elon Musk made news regarding the whole Twitter fiasco. He's not interested. Uh, Basically, he wants to renegotiate the price, citing concerns regarding the whole spam and fake accounts. And it is a tactic of a negotiation, right? If he pulls out that $44 million deal, he's going to be like, okay, well, since these accounts are fake and I want to negotiate. I want to negotiate for a lesser price. So I don't think the deal's off the table 100%. It can zigzag around between 750 and 650 until the negotiations are 100% off the table, where I can definitely see Tesla rally. And if they're on the table, we could, again, pretty much see Tesla wedged in between this line here and a move lower, guys, unfortunately, right? So because this downtrend is still pretty much intact, right, guys? Like we could still definitely push down to these levels of 550, as I mentioned in previous streams. Right now, this whole deal is holding it in between this 750 and 650 line. If the deal is off, you're definitely looking at that push, as I mentioned, above 780. Look at this resistance right here. This could tell you pretty much where Tesla could run up in a short term if that deal is off the table. And if the deal if the deal's off the table, it could run up. And if the deal's back on the table, you could definitely see Tesla push lower just because the trend hasn't been broken. And we are still potentially going to test that 550 line. And to me, if I wasn't reading any news whatsoever and I was looking at this chart, I would say it's going to definitely hit that 550, more possibility down to that line as opposed to getting up to that 880 line. All right. So that's my views on Tesla. Definitely watch above 780. All right. So the next one that's in correlation to it, obviously, is Twitter. So that's the next name, TWTR. And, here we are on Twitter. I am going to switch over here to give you guys a clean picture, right? Again, Twitter, we have been stuck between this $41 line and 37.56. What am I looking at on Twitter? Well, since the deal is off the table, it's going to be definitely bearish for Twitter. So potentially I am looking at that 33.50 line, which is that bottom of that wick right here, right, guys? So for me, that is that confirmation area where I definitely want to short below that $35 line for potential take profit targets at that $31 line, which, as you guys can see here, guys, the bulls stepped in around $31 and led this charge to this gap right here for this whole news regarding the buy from Elon Musk. Now that Elon Musk is no longer interested, definitely look below $35 for a downshoot and a take profit target of $31. Now, let's just say the market reaction is terrible with Twitter and it leads to further selling pressure. What's my second profit, right? What's my second take profit target? It is this line right here at that $28 line. Why do I pick that? Is pretty much simple, right? Prior history. All these lines depend on prior history. Where is it from before? Well, we had a bounce right here back on June 2020. We also had it as support right here, and it received the bounce back on October 2019. So these two lines can definitely get tested once again if we have a terrible market reaction, a bearish reaction, and obviously, it's off to the races, right? So a break below $35. You're looking at take profit number 31, right? The first take profit target, and the second take profit roughly around that $28 line. So definitely watch Twitter going into next week, and also keep in mind Tesla as they are correlated to each other. All right. The next name that I want to discuss is Moderna. Now, Moderna, guys, the ticker is MRNA. I am going to switch over here and give you guys a clean picture. And to me, Moderna, you know, it's been in the news and it has gained quite a bit, right? It's gained 50% in a matter of 3 weeks. As you guys can see on the weekly time frame here, we've had a push all the way from 122 support, where we bounced off one time here back on March, again back on May, and once more back in June. And we have been off to the races. And to me, I am looking at that 177.50, 178 line. As you guys can see, it is an area of resistance for a potential push all the way to 188, 190 for round number's sake. Now, the reason why it's gained so much is simple, right? The World Health Organization recently announced that 6,000 plus cases of monkeypox have been reported from 58 countries in the current outbreak, right? So, Moderna was the leading name to bust out with the vaccine with the COVID-19, and now they are one of the leaders to provide a potential vaccine for the monkeypox. I know it sounds crazy, but this thing's spreading, and just like COVID, it was talked about a little bit in November, and then December and January, and boom, the whole drop happened in February. And here we are again, guys. So you guys got to watch for these clues. And Moderna, like I said, has gained 50% in 3 weeks. That's insane. So definitely look above that 178 line for potential push to that 188 line. As you guys can see here, multiple rejections on the weekly time frame. So it's going to be a tough area to break. So I am looking for calls above that 178 to take profit of 178 to take profit at 188, 190. And if we can get past that, we can definitely hit that $200 line, where we do have another area of resistance right here, right? So 200 would be my second take profit target if we are bullish and if we hear more rumblings regarding this monkeypox business. All right, so that is Moderna to the upside, and I am definitely looking for a move higher. The next name I want to discuss that did have a great week, right? And that's Rivian, RIVN, another EV name, much like Tesla. I am going to switch over here to give you guys a clear look. And pretty much Rivian did gain a substantial amount. Like I said, it did gain around 25% after analysts upgraded the stock from $30 to $40. So we're gonna do this one together. It's very easy, guys. Obviously, we have resistance at that $33 line, and if we can break above that, the next area of resistance is that bottom area of $38, right? So if we get above 33, you're looking at take profit targets of 38. And keep in mind, as I did mention, the analyst upgraded to $40. So where does $40 lead us? So it's not obviously that far from 38. So you're looking at the top of this candlestick right here, left back on April 2022. So a move right here is my second take profit target on Rivian. So definitely watch Rivian above 33 bucks for a continued move higher to take profit targets of 38 and $40, pretty much in correlation to the analysts that upgraded it, right? So what am I looking at if we receive a rejection? Pretty simple, guys. Very simple. Similar to overhead resistance, we've obviously built a nice base of support at that 24.50 line. Now that is the bottom of that, right? So what am I looking at to hit that target, right? I'm looking at entries below 28.50, 28, 29. You can say in between there. Obviously, it was an area of support here. So to me, it is a big drop down candle. So I would like to open up shorts around that 28.50, $29 line for potential targets of 24.50. And my second take profit target, obviously, now I don't envision this happening. It is going to be a pretty big drop at that $19 line, which we would definitely need the market to drop below 3,800, as I mentioned in the beginning, to receive a bearish outlook on Rivian. Now, I am looking above $33, so I am bullish in a sense as long as the market can move higher above 39 to $4,000, filling that gap. As long as it does that, I am targeting these areas of 38 bucks and $40, right? So that's Rivian on the weekly time frame. I just showed you guys exactly how I would approach a stock like this and where I would take profits and where I would short, right? So be sure to check us out at Wealthy Mentor Trading on our Discord channel where we have charts like this and many other names all set up for you every single week, along with our daily watch list name. 2 months for $97. It's a great area where you can definitely learn a lot just by observing the targets and the overall call outs that I do have for our students every single day. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Be sure to check us out on our Instagram page, Wealthy Mentor Trading, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as we do release videos every single week. Good luck trading and see you guys next week.